What's going on? Fury's back again for another week. Tomorrow is week 4. We're 4 weeks into the football season. We got a great show for you guys. Again, we got Tim and we got Josh Dula. I'm not too sure where he is. I think he's hanging
No
out
doubt.
over out there in Detroit. He got to discuss a couple of things. To try and see if he can help his team out. But other than that, Tim, what's good?
Nets don't hit back. That's what's good. Nets don't hit back, Odell.
It's dirty. It's dirty.
listen. Let's get it on. Josh, the Patriots are 3-0 without Tom Brady. Now, I remember we had asked this before the beginning of the season. We all said, look at the schedule. The Patriots are going without Tom Brady for the first 4 games of the season for his cell phone suspension. Okay, we said he's playing against the Arizona Cardinals. That was Garoppolo. The Buffalo Bills, the Houston Texans, the Buffalo Bills who didn't play yet, and who was the Miami Dolphins. All right, we all said 1-3, 3-1, 0-4. They're 3-0, and it's one game. It's 2 games with Garoppolo, and 1 game with Brissett, where Elderman was the backup quarterback, and I'm like, wow, we have to give Bill Belichick some respect. It's not we're not taking anything away from Tom Brady saying they can win. I'm pretty sure they cannot win the championship without him. But that's a great team for you to be there without your starting quarterback and go with a first starting Garoppolo and a rookie in Brissett, and
Right.
especially when you beat the Arizona Cardinals opening night in their house. That's a playoff team. We're talking about a team like the Miami Dolphins, which is a division team. We're talking about now the Houston Texans, which was supposed to be one of the top defense in the league with J.J. Watt. Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give all the credit in the world to Bill Belichick here. I mean, they might as well go ahead and rename the Lombardi Trophy, in my opinion. This guy is the best in the NFL history as far as coaching goes.
Right.
And this guy has to do it all too. He has to do with the recruiting. He has to deal with the salary cap now, stuff that coaches didn't really have to deal with back in the day. He does it all, man. He's like the commander in chief, pretty much.
Right.
It's just amazing. And what you look at, pretty much the identifying stats right here of why they're successful so far in these 3 weeks. Garoppolo, opening week at the Cardinals, 72% completion percentage, and then he had a touchdown and 264. The biggest part there, 0 INTs. Next week, he started out at the Dolphins. Before he went out, he was playing stellar. Another 70% completion, 3 TDs, 232.
Right.
Another important stat, 0 INTs. And the same thing when Brissett filled in. He didn't turn over the ball. They just game managed, and he did the same thing at the Texans. Brissett didn't have a glorified game. He didn't wow anybody with his arm or his play on the field, really. But what he did was he managed the game well. He got it to his receivers to get the yak. That's what you want to do. LeGarrette Blount carried the load greatly for him. LeGarrette Blount deserves a lot of credit for taking a lot of pressure off of Brissett as well. 2 touchdowns and what do you have, close to 200 yards? He just beasted that game. So credit to them, and props to those quarterbacks for just not turning the ball over. And that's all they were really told to do, is just game manage and let the team play as a whole. Everybody's got each other's backs, and that's what they do perfectly. And it's every team wishes they can mimic it, but they can't. And it's all credit goes to Belichick.
You know what? And also they didn't play. They didn't have Gronkowski either. So all they had was really
Right.
Martellus Bennett. They had Julian Elderman.
No Deion Lewis too, and they're doing this.
Nah, exactly. So not only Belichick, but the vets out there who basically say, you know what, we're gonna do this together. We're gonna fight together, and we also they were 3-0. If even if they lose to the Buffalo Bills, which we're gonna predict later on today, we still have to give them their props. If they go 3-1, it's still a fantastic start. Because when Tom Brady comes back, listen, y'all better use our cell phones. It's about to be on.
All right, moving on, guys.
Okay, we got now, Josh. We had a trade,
Yeah.
which everybody, it was blowing their minds. It was the the Philadelphia Eagles sent Sam Bradford to the Minnesota Vikings for a first-round pick. Everyone went ballistic, but they're 3-0. The Eagles are 3-0 with Carson Wentz. Now, who do you think got the better of the deal?
Typically, right now, I want to lean towards Philly, just because there's youth in their quarterback, and at the same time, I mean, Bradford still is young. Don't get me wrong, but they have a lot of pieces they trade away just to acquire him for like a one-season kind of gap stop, you know, because they still feel they're in contention right now. They wanted to put somebody there right now, as they're in a win right now mode. So I believe that the Eagles are set up better for the future. I hate to say it because they're a division rival and it scares me, but those picks are going to come in handy when draft time comes around. And Carson Wentz is looking real good for a young stud right now. I mean, he's looking like a steal right now for the Eagles, and it's just another pie in the face for the Browns right now as they bypass them and the Rams. It's looking pretty laughable, you know, to pass them up, and Carson Wentz is looking stellar out there. So, the Eagles are playing well. I know a lot of people are going to give them crap for just, you know, only beating the first 2 weeks, the Browns and what was it, the Jags? I'm already forgetting their schedule.
The Philadelphia Steelers. I mean, the Philadelphia Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
They mollywopped them too, which was pretty amazing. An interesting stat: last time the Steelers got manhandled by Philly in Philly, they ended up winning the Super Bowl with Santonio Holmes on that Cardinals catch. I think the Eagles right now, they're in a good position, but the Vikings look good. But at the same time, if they don't, you know, go far this year, it has a real potential to kind of dismantle and almost go to like an offensive rebuild mode.
Well, I'll tell you this. You know, I wanted to say the Minnesota Vikings, but I'm gonna side with you, Johnson. I'm gonna say the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate to say it, you know, I know we in the NFC East with the Giants and Cowboys, but
absolutely,
you know, the thing is this. Okay, this was like some John Madden franchise football trade where, okay, I'm a sign Bradford and then trade him, and then I'm gonna take this team's draft picks, move up to the second pick in the draft, and get that guy, and then I'm gonna take the guy signed, trade him for a first-round pick. Now I'm back in there. So you know, I have to give Holly Roseman his credit because we don't see trades like that all the time. So you know,
right.
What's so good about it is that they had Doug Peterson, the head coach, who's very familiar with the Philadelphia Eagles because he was the offensive coordinator when Andy Reid was there. So when it comes down to, okay, now he's implementing that system they had, that West Coast system again. You moved up in the draft. You got Carson Wentz. Eagles fans went crazy. We got no first-round pick next year. You trade Bradford. Now you got a first-round pick next year and hosting the NFL draft next year. And Wentz looks great. Wentz looks fantastic. But not only that, they have a defense. This is something like what happened with Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson, where, okay, we give the rookie a running game, we give the rookie a defense, it makes it easier for him. And that's exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles management did. And I think the Eagles won this because they got their first-round pick back and they got their franchise quarterback who, you know, as Doug Peterson says, looks Peyton Manning-ish.
It's hard to argue, yeah.
It's hard. We don't want that, Josh. I know you as a Giant fan, me as a Cowboy fan, we hate that crap. You know what I'm saying? But we got to deal with it. We got to deal with it. All right. We going with hey, Sean, you there? Sean. Oh, that's good. He can't hear us. About Seattle Seahawks.
Good.
I can say anything.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm just doing some vaccine, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, Sean. I want to make sure you have no bottles. I want to make sure you have no bottles and no rope around you. No, okay, good. Now, this is what pisses me off. How the hell the Seattle Seahawks were ranked 5th by the NFL standings? I mean, the NFL power rankings. How? Somebody tell me how. I mean, I'm looking at this. They beat the Miami Dolphins 12-10. The Patriots killed them. Okay, they lost to the Rams 9-3, 9-3. Okay, you beat the 49ers. Okay, who shouldn't beat them? I mean, listen, it's an embarrassment by the power rankings. You could have put the Giants up there. You could have put the Cowboys up there. You could have put any team besides the Seattle freaking Seahawks. They are, listen, I'm going to keep it very real. They're overrated. Very overrated. They got a quarterback who is not healthy coming this Sunday, going in. And not only that, he got no offensive line. They throw 2 yards a pass. They got no receivers. They got an okay defense. They ain't the same. And they barely beating team. You got right number 5. When you lose to the Rams 9-3, that's an embarrassment. Who they lose to? Who they lose to? Keenan Allen? I mean, not Keenan, excuse me. What's the quarterback's name is, Josh? What's his
Case
name?
Keenum?
Oh, that's the problem. If I didn't know his name, and you hiccup to his name, Josh, we're talking about Kenny Britt.
Brian Quick.
I mean, the best thing.
Stephen
Brian
Hill.
Quick. Stephen Hill. Look at that. I mean, was Michael Sam playing? Was Michael Sam on the team? We don't know. We don't care. That's the Rams. How the hell? Oh, I know why. Because LeBron James was in attendance at the opening ceremony of the opening of the stadium, and the Seahawks just froze 9-3. Got to be kidding me. It's a disgrace. Let me tell you guys something. The Seahawks are not going to the playoffs. They are overrated. The only good thing about the Seattle Seahawks is if you have Ciara singing the national anthem while Russell Wilson's crying. That's all I got to say.
I can understand that. I'm with you. I don't agree with them being at 5. I kind of was looking up different rankings, and I kind of agree with SI, Sports Illustrated. They got them around 9. I'll give them that. I'll put them at 9. And to be frank with you, I believe they power rankings. They go with how they're doing or how they're going to look down the road, what their potential looks like going into week 4 or 5 and so on. And is it right? No, it probably isn't. You should probably base it off what just happened in the game like they do with college rankings and the AP polls. So if you just lost to a team that pretty much just got manhandled, by the 49ers a week ago, and now you're only putting up a field goal against them, and this is the team coming from Hard Knocks that just sat their first-round QB and put him 3rd on the depth chart. So now it's Case Keenum and this guy Charles Mannion or whatever his name is. It's pretty embarrassing. I kind of agreed with this right here. You got Patriots and Denver 1 and 2. I'll give the Vikings the 3rd slot. Then you got the Eagles at 4. I can go with that. Then Chiefs and Steelers. I would definitely put these teams above the Seahawks right now. I'll even give the Packers a nod. I don't think the Ravens, even though they are undefeated, I think they're going to wake up and get a heavy schedule here. So, yeah. Tim?
Wait, next to something, Josh, do you have the standings for SI? I would like to know that.
The power rankings, yes, I do.
Yeah. I want to see this. I got to hear this.
Sports Illustrated, they got 1 is the Patriots, 2 is the Broncos. So they got 3 is the Vikings, 4 is the Eagles, 5 is the Chiefs, 6 is the Steelers, 7 is the Packers, 8 is the Ravens. They have the Seahawks at 9. And then from there, 10 through 15 is going to be Panthers, Bengals, Cowboys, Raiders, Texans, and Cardinals.
Oh,
and I believe the only thing that's really going to keep the Seahawks in this, they don't have a real running game right now. That's going to be the scary thing. They had to just pick up C.J. Spiller. C.J. Spiller was just cut from the Saints, and they don't really have that, a deep running back corpse that just wows you on paper. So it's really a divisional thing that's going to keep them in it. The 49ers is awful. The Rams should have been awful, but they lost to them. So that's going to be their survival right there is the division.
You know what's funny? I mean, listen, why don't they rank teams that beat competitive teams? Listen, I know we talked briefly about the Philadelphia Eagles, but damn it, they beat the Browns. Who else they beat? They beat the Browns. Who's the second team?
I thought it was the Jags, but I got to look up their schedule again. I forget who they played week 1.
Who they play? Excuse me one moment. One moment. Who did the Eagles play? Who did the Eagles play?
They played the Browns week 1. They played the Browns week 1. They played the Bears week 2. Bears to play the Bears.
Wow! Wait a minute. So, you beat the Browns. You beat the Bears. You beat the Steelers with no Le'Veon Bell and no Martavis Bryant, but you're ranked number 4. The Broncos have beaten the Panthers.
Well, we gotta wrap it up, guys.
Let's just say Carson Wentz is definitely gonna run into some rookie troubles. He's gonna have some hurdles to leap through. Let Philly go crazy for now. It's week 3. You know what happens week 3 all the time? Buffalo is usually 3-0. Their fans are setting fires to chariots in the street, and then they end up 5-11. So let's just let the season play out a little bit.
All right, guys. That's it for this down, guys. We'll be right back for a second down. All right, easy.